What's going on, folks, and welcome back here to Ross Travels. If you're returning, if you're new, had a lot of new subscribers here in the last few weeks. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you guys so much. Had a pretty decent jump in the last 3-4 weeks, so I appreciate all of you guys. Welcome here to Ross Travels, and welcome to another video, a video that I've kind of wanted to record for a while. And actually, my buddy Christian, shout out to my buddy Christian. He's over down in Perth at the moment. But he kind of resurfaced the idea for this and made me jump it more towards the top of my list, more towards the top of my video ideas list. And that is managing, or how to handle loneliness while traveling. But before I get into that, let's just take a look at, come on. Let's just take a look at the ocean, folks. Look at this. Gotta get your passport, folks. Get your passport. But anyway, we get the sound of the water. Come on, we get the sound of the water too. I mean, what are we even talking about? What are we talking about, folks? You can do it. You can get out here, folks. Anyway, the reason why I want to talk about this is because this is a good reality while traveling. Mainly solo. Not to say that it can't happen if you travel with a friend or with a partner or with anyone else, but mainly solo traveling. It can feel lonely. I personally haven't really felt this all too much, only just because my inspiration, my whole life now is just solo travel. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing. And like, I'm so pumped up, I'm so motivated to, number one, not go home, not go back to the US. I'll make a video on that eventually, but the motivation is just not to go home. And so I think I feel better about solo traveling and being on my own because I've just gotten used to it. You know, I've gotten used to it. But Christian's thing, and so many others in the comments and stuff on Instagram and stuff, Ross Travels Official on Instagram and TikTok, by the way. But a lot of people ask me, like, okay, but do you get lonely? Like, how do you manage that? And my thing is, I'm gonna say it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There is not gonna be a time where you're never gonna feel lonely, especially while solo traveling or traveling, period. You know, there's gonna be some times where there's gonna be some low days, and sometimes the weather may not help. You might be somewhere that's super gloomy outside and it's rainy and you're on a trip and it might be your first day in Singapore, for example, or something. It's bucketing down outside, rain, stuck in the hostel. It's the low season, so no one's really traveling or something, or whatever the case is. And you just kind of feel like, man, it's lonely out here, man. In some cases it might be a little more extreme, some cases might be a little more subtle, but it's just overall, managing that, I understand how it could feel like, what the hell am I doing? It can feel like, how am I gonna get out of this? How am I supposed to make friends and stuff? And how am I supposed to? And there's ways to go around it. There's ways to go around it. If you want some motivation and some inspiration when it comes to solo travel and being confident and stuff like that, go check out my guy Simon Wilson. And he obviously has no idea that he's not gonna see this, but talk about confidence and just going for it. That's the way. That's the prime example right there. I give you a lot more examples, but we'll be here all day. But my personal thing is, there's lots of different ways to go about it. Okay, and all you need to do is just, one of my favorite songs is "Fix You" by Coldplay. I mean, we love Coldplay. Come on, everyone knows that by now. But there's a line in there that says, "If you never try, you never know just what you're worth." I mean, come on. Bars from Chris Martin. It's his birthday the other day. Yesterday, actually. But if you never try, you never know just what you're worth, But if you just take those two lines, if you never try, you'll never know. Just take that. And there you go. You got everything solved for you, folks. You just got to give it a go. And there are some days you want to be lazy. There are some days you don't want to do anything. You don't want to talk to anybody. That's normal. But I think just managing loneliness, managing, not being around people. All right, sorry about that, folks. Phone overheated. It's pretty toasty out here today. 33 degrees Celsius, about low 90s, and the UV is about 11, 12 today, so it's rough. So anyway, the way to battle loneliness and stuff while traveling is just to do the things you love, or at least give it a go. And I know it's easier said than done. It's a lot easier said than done. Oh, Ross, sometimes I'm not feeling it. Oh, Ross, maybe I just don't feel like going anywhere. I just feel like wallowing or whatever. I get it. I've been there before. I have been there before. No matter the situation. Take yourself on that solo dinner. Take yourself on that solo dinner. Take yourself to, you know, a real cool rice fields if you're in Southeast Asia, or, you know, take yourself to a really cool like, cultural show or something, you know, if you're out traveling, you know, take yourself somewhere where you're gonna find some sort of happiness, you know, go out and compliment someone on the street, you know, do something of that sort that's gonna make you happy, that's gonna give you some sort of a jolt, you know, because in that way, things could start to look up. Things could start to look a bit better for you. Because the one thing you don't want to do is just feel lonely and then sit there and do nothing, you know? And there are times where you just want to just kind of sit in your thoughts and just relax, you know, sleep on it and restart the next day. But that's the most important part. Is just to try and reset. Try and reset. That's the best thing you could do. Because if you just sit and wallow and this and that, it's not going to help anything. You're going to sit in your thoughts for way too long. And then you may start to go a little crazy, you know? And like some days may not go your way. Some days may not go your way, but something unexpected could happen. You know, you could go and grab a taxi to your favorite restaurant, and on the way, your taxi driver could be super cool. Your taxi driver could be super cool. You know, you could be on your way to get some ice cream and you run into someone, you know, on the way that compliments you. Turns into a conversation. They might be another backpacker. And that gives you a little jolt, you know? Some random things can happen that way. And it's not gonna happen all the time. It's not gonna happen all the time. Sometimes there are just days where it just doesn't go your way and it sucks. That's just the reality of it, folks. But it doesn't always have to be, okay, I'm lonely, so I'm just gonna force myself to still be lonely or not do anything about it. That's the worst thing you can do, is not do anything about it. So one thing I like to say is I like to call this the Ross Travels icebreaker method. Now, obviously, this isn't my method that I came up with. I'm just kind of stealing the idea because it's kind of funny. And I talked about it in my Welcome to Ross Travels video, I think. And it's basically saying, you check into a hostel, you check into a 6-bed hostel, and everybody likes the bottom bunk. Everyone loves the bottom bunk. No one likes to climb up to the top. And so you walk in, you got two of the bunks on the bottom are taken, you get one more that's free. You go take that bottom bunk and you walk in to the room and you're like, oh man, last bottom bunk, I got it, you know? And some people, it might be really cold. Some people may not crack a smile, they may not laugh, but some people are like, yeah, man, take it, you know? So, you know? And that turns into, oh man, where are you from? Like, you know, where are you coming from? How was your flight? Blah, blah, blah. There you go. There you go. And you know, and it may not go past that, but it might. It might be like, hey, so what's your plans for the rest of the day? Hey, you guys traveling solo too? Like what, you know? Oh, we're traveling with some friends, but we're going out tonight. You want to come with us? Here we go, folks. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be that easy every time. I know it's not going to be that easy every time because I've done it. But more times than none, you can't make one negative experience dictate the rest of, the rest of the things you do going forward. Just because you get denied by a girl once doesn't mean you don't try again. You know, now you might, alter your plan of action sometimes. I'm not speaking from experience. But like, just because you get denied by a girl once doesn't mean you will never date someone ever again, And again, easier said than done, I get it. But that's just kind of like an analogy, So I think that's my best way of battling loneliness while traveling, and I get like the FOMO, you get the FOMO and stuff like that, I get it. And it sucks when you're at home after traveling, you see everybody else traveling. That just gives you a motivation and a boost to do what you need to do, get your passport, if you don't already have it. Save up some money if you don't already have it. If you're at work and you need to work for a couple of months to go on your next trip, that gives you the motivation. All right, let's go hard at work. Let's not think about what's going on at work. Let's not think about all the extra shit and all the stresses at work and people stressing me out and making their lives mine and blah, blah, blah. But rather having that motivation and saying, hey, I've got 3 months to work here and make up some cash so I can get the hell out of here. That is what you do. If you're feeling in the FOMO stage, but you need to work, make some money. There you go. There's ways around it, folks. You can't just sit there and just accept it, which is easy to do. Again, I've done it multiple times and it sucks. And I stopped doing that. I used to try to stop doing that, which is why I'm telling you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here, folks. My camera's on the verge here. It's very hot outside. It's the middle of the day, and so the sun's just beating down. So I don't want it to overheat and kill the video because we're on a groove right now. But folks, be sure to like and subscribe. Share this with the folks you know. Share it with the folks you don't know. Turn the notification bell on to get notified of all videos. We're gonna try and do weekly. We're gonna try and do Wednesdays. And a lot more live streams coming up as well, folks. So we're gonna make our way. We're gonna build this up to our big trip that's gonna be announced in a couple of weeks from this video. And if you're watching this after March 19th, 2025, you already know where we're gonna be going. And we got lots to cover, folks, lots to cover. So anyway, I'm out of here. Let me know if this helped. If you have any other advice, any other tips for all my solo lonely travelers out there, including, including tips for me or anything that I missed or anything you wanna add or anything for anyone else, put it down in the comment section below. We'd love to hear it. Let's get a discussion going, folks. We all wanna help each other. We're all gonna help each other out on this channel. We're not gonna be selfish. We're not gonna hold back information. So anyway, I'm gonna enjoy the ocean. It's very hot out here. I'm gonna jump right in, folks. Be kind to each other. Love one another. I'm Ross Travels, and I'll see you later. Oh, no, we're good. Okay. Sorry, folks. Phone crashed out for a second. Phone crashed out for a second. All right, folks, we're gonna get through this damn video. We're gonna get through it. We don't want to go anywhere. We just want to sit and wallow, whatever the situation may be. And why is it doing that? Anyway, screen's going dark, folks. I don't know why my screen is doing that, but it's, I don't know why it's doing that. You know, take yourself on a solo day. I really don't like that it's doing that. There we go, folks. We're suffering today with the heat, folks.